Hey everybody, welcome back to Front Porch Catholic. On this channel, we talk about the grit and glory of domestic life on our Ohio hobby farm. And if you're new, I want to welcome you and thank you for being here. Consider liking and subscribing. And if you've been around, I want to thank you for following us and for so many of you who recently expressed sympathy and encouragement regarding a loss that we experienced here on our farm. Really appreciate your prayers and support and your encouraging words that are really helping us to power through this minor situation that does tend to rattle a person. So thank you for being supportive. Really appreciate that a whole lot. Today, I'm going to talk about our children, and just a kind of quick note, a lot of people asked about how our children cope with loss on the farm, and I'm going to do another video about that because I feel like it's worth exploring and unpacking because it's something we encounter here, and it's something that I think everybody encounters. Today we're going to talk about homeschooling because a friend of mine has asked me to answer 5 questions. Her name is Lisa, and she runs the Catholic Marathon Mom channel. I really encourage you to check her out because she's got so much wisdom to share with other people. And she's going to make a playlist about these 5 questions where other people are going to contribute their answers to help build up this homeschooling community and maybe answer some of your curiosities and questions about homeschooling if you're considering it for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into this. I almost can't believe that I haven't shared more about homeschooling already because it's just a huge part of my life. I'm kind of entrenched in it. And it's just kind of like part of my rhythm. So maybe that's why it hasn't risen up to the surface as something I ought to talk about. But it's really become my life's work. I have dedicated myself to building the home. And part of that is the education of our kids here in the home. Okay, I want to answer Lisa's 5 questions, but I want to frame them in this context. And that is the answer to the question, why did I choose to homeschool? I believe that it is the purpose of education to teach a child to think critically and to be able to seek the truth and to be able to perceive that and discern that no matter what their circumstances are or become in life. We were made to love, serve, and know God in this life so that we can be happy with Him forever in the next. And to be able to seek the truth is so important, especially in today's muddy culture. So I have really embraced that, and I want to cultivate in each of my children a natural curiosity. I want to cultivate that so that they can want to pursue the truth and always be curious about life and the things of life and the mysteries of life, and so that they love learning. So that's why I homeschool. And I believe that here in the home, I can individually educate each of these children. I believe I was, designed to do this. And I think I can do here at home what every school really wants to do for a child, and that is to individually educate them, whether they're on an advanced track or they have a special need. We all want to educate each child in the way that's best suited to their needs and abilities. And I believe in the home, on an individual basis, we can do that. And as mothers who know and love our children intimately and deeply, we can discern day in, day out what that's going to look like for them. Here are Lisa's 5 questions and my answer to them. First one, how many kids are you homeschooling and how long have you been at it? I'm currently homeschooling 4 of my children, 7th, 5th, 3rd, and kindergarten. But I have been at this for more than a decade. Our oldest is in a Catholic high school this year for the first time. He's a freshman. And we also have a toddler and a baby. So we've got this wide array of people. And our oldest was homeschooled starting in kindergarten, or really before, if you count nursery school and all that. He was raised to be educated this way and then just launched off into a regular high school this year. So been at it a while, but I'm not a pro. I'm learning as I go. Number 2, what was the defining moment when you knew you were going to homeschool? Actually, if I can recall way back when I was in 3rd grade home from school, I was sick, and a friend brought my homework back to me. And I think I was out a couple days, and Sarah brought my homework to me, and I was doing it there in my parents' bedroom. And I remember thinking, when it was all said and done, I just did 2 or 3 days worth of schoolwork in 2 hours. How did that happen? Why do we go to school every day all day? And that really has stuck with me. That thought of prudent time management has always stuck in my mind. So that seed was planted way back when. I didn't know to call it homeschooling, but I knew that there had to be a way to learn and not spend all day at it. I think that's a great thing. So I'm glad that I had that experience and I had that kind of epiphany moment when I was a child, because as I've become an adult and I'm raising children, I realized that it can be done. You can educate them at home if you choose to do it, choose to put in the work to make it happen, and really just help to create in your home a culture where education and knowledge and truth and beauty and goodness are appreciated. So that's what I've tried to build here. So the defining moment, I guess if you want to say it was in 3rd grade, great. Otherwise, like I obviously did decide to do it, maybe when our oldest was 3-4 years old, when you gotta like actually start thinking seriously about how you're gonna educate your child. Number 3, Lisa asks, do I create my own curriculum or use a religious curriculum or a secular curriculum? Personally, I use a blend of things. So I guess you would say I design my own curriculum. I use Laura Behrquist's book, Designing Your Own Classical Curriculum, and also Susan Wise Bauer's book, The Well-Trained Mind, to help guide me and to give me confidence about how to do that. And so I've pulled from a lot of different sources. It's changed year after year. Even like my 5th grade curriculum I teach now is different than the one I taught the first 2 times I taught 5th grade. And that's because each child has been different. So I pull from, many different sources, some of them religious. I've used Catholic Heritage Curriculum, link below. I've used Seton Home, link below. I've also just used random books like this one. It's called Minimus Pupil Starting Out in Latin. It's like a comic, learning Latin through kind of like a comic strip and a vocabulary list. Not my preferred way to learn Latin. I prefer using Wheelock's Latin at a college level. Our local high school does that. But for an introduction to language in a way that can be fun and intriguing, this is what I've chosen to do with my 7th grader. The child that's now in high school, I did use Wheelock's with him, and I used a different older curriculum that was more rigid because that's how he likes to learn. She likes to learn differently, so we do this. I also use things like Maxwell's English course for my 7th grader. I also use a different one, the next level up, for my 8th grader. This book was printed in 1888, and actually this copy is pretty old. I think this copy is from 1890. If you care about this, I care about this, so I'm gonna share about it. This one, 1894, that's when this was printed. So it's, tried and true, we'll call it that. It's tried and true, old. I don't even know if it's in print anymore, but I'm so glad to have it. We use it, knowledge is imparted, there's repetition, concepts are grasped, so I'm grateful. So yes, there's a Seton book. This is a CHC book, we use Saxon Math. It just changes year after year. I just try to put in my time each year to pick books for each grade level that will fit my child, and every week I plan out each of their subjects. Sometimes the books are great about laying out, like this is week 1, this is what you do, week 2 you do this. Other books not so much, and we just kind of go through the course as it fits our schedule and as it fits my child's ability to comprehend a subject or a concept, and we move through it. The point of homeschooling is to learn, and so we're not just going to plow through a book, we're going to learn what is being taught, and we're going to do it gradually and at whatever pace is essential and necessary for each child. So that's something I've learned to embrace as a homeschooling mom, is to be responsive to what's happening and not feel like I gotta push through a book and finish it by May, because the point is learning. The point is not finishing a book. I think I can equip the kids really well with that in mind, and I think you can too. Number 4, Lisa asks, what has been your greatest challenge homeschooling, and how are you facing it or have overcome it? And I think like most people, you face the things like, well, the child isn't understanding this thing, so I gotta teach it a different way, or they're being kind of lazy in their work, or their penmanship slipping, or they're not really giving me respect. Those parenting issues, which become part of your homeschool experience because you're the parent and you're doing it at home, those I'm gonna set aside. The homeschooling thing that I have found most difficult is a challenge I'm currently facing. And it doesn't directly have to do with homeschooling. It has to do with time management and protecting and preserving the family's time together. That has happened because we have put a child in a brick and mortar school. So we have brick and mortar school schedule, home life schedule, homeschool schedule, husband's work schedule, my side hobby schedule, all having to fit together in this beautiful, perfect puzzle. And it's been hard when we throw in this huge institutional schedule. So we have learned through the soccer season and through musical season, which we're in now, how to help our son manage his time and how to pick his priorities in a way that aren't egocentric. Life is about our family right now. And so if it doesn't fit, it doesn't stick. We don't do it. That has been a very valuable lesson. I'm glad to be encountering it now as a family. I knew it was coming, but we're, kind of in the thick of it right now. So 5th question, what advice would you give to someone considering to homeschool for the first time? And I have thought about this because there's so much advice that a homeschool mom wants to give because, we like to offer advice. The number 1 piece would be this. Please know that you do not have to be great at this right now. If you're going to choose a homeschool, you will become good at it. You'll become great at it with your child because it's something that you learn as you go. Like any virtue, it has to become a habit, it has to become a rhythm, it has to become part of your life through the lived experience. And if you're afraid that you're not going to be good at it, don't worry about that. Like, just choose it with your husband for the sake of your child and get going on it. Make the best decisions out of love and out of respect for the truth and goodness and beauty, and you'll be well on your way. That's the number one piece of advice I give. The second one is just realize that homeschooling and brick and mortar school, they're different, so different. The day looks different. The curriculum looks different. So don't try to be a school. You are a home school. I want to thank Lisa for including me in this collaboration, the Catholic Marathon Mom channel. Check it out. Check out the playlist of other people who have answered these same questions. I hope you like and subscribe to Front Porch Catholic. We're going to be sharing with you so much of our garden. We've got pigs coming, donkeys having babies, more donkeys coming onto the farm. Of course, a garden going in, kids ending school, doing sports. Anyway, we have so much fun here. We're glad to share it all with you, or parts of it with you. And just hope to see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.